cut goes out to all y'all that's been missing us for mad years. One love, yo. Yeah, that's right, he's got a game. PE 1998.
If man is the father, the sun is the center of the earth, in the middle of the universe, then why is this verse coming 6
however
times
you want
the
to
earth?
call me. Thank you for joining us. We are doing a couple of things here. One, we're doing the show as I always do on Sunday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And we're also doing a podcast. Now, when I say we, I have Donovan, my partner in crime. You can't see him, but on the video that he'll produce in the next couple of days, you'll be able to see him as well. So, as I said, we are killing 2 birds with one stone, and actually 3 birds with one stone, because we're also going to be uploading his produced video. It's trying to connect again on YouTube. So we will go from there, and I'm having trouble here connecting.
Once again.
Why? I don't know.
All of a sudden.
It was working fine up until right now.
I think Facebook's trying to shut you down. That's
you
what I
think
think's
Facebook's
happening.
trying to shut me down?
They don't want you to get the message out.
Okay, well, hopefully this thing...
there we go.
We'll see if it continues to... hopefully we don't have the same problems that we were having last week. All right, so I don't see anybody on here now, but I will continue because I know we have listeners on the podcast. So hello to you guys as well. All right, so I just wanted to give you guys a did you know type information before I start to kind of break this here. Did you know that one knee is for the team and 2 knees is for Jesus? Can you see if I'm on? Because I see it's kind of doing some weird things. But can you see or you can't see?
I can't see.
Okay, well, we'll go from there. So anyway, like I said, 1 knee is for the team, 2 knees is for Jesus. And that was the quote of Ray Lewis.
Ray the Coon Lewis.
I didn't say that, you did. Ray Lewis said that 1 knee is for the team, 2 knees are for Jesus. So just want to know if you guys knew that. So anyway, moving right along, I don't see who's on here yet. Today's topics are, I want to talk about Sean King and my notes from his lecture. And I simply titled the next segment, What's Wrong with Us? Have we officially lost our minds? And I'll get into that in just a few minutes. But I kind of wanted to just give some highlights of what happened at Sean King. And if you guys are having a hard time seeing me for whatever reason, just let me know. I'll try to go ahead and readjust, but we should be fine now. But anyway, I went on Wednesday with my nephew to go see Sean King. And he was basically talking about racism. Hey, Sydney, what's happening? He said, no, I didn't know 2 knees was... I didn't know... Sydney says, I didn't know 2 knees was for white Jesus. Well, I'm assuming that's who it was for. Ray Lewis was trying to clarify, like, nah.
I wasn't protesting.
No, I wasn't protesting. I was praying. That's what he said. He was praying. But that's almost like what happens when cooning goes wrong, because, he was cooning. And somebody said, probably the owners, like, Ray, we need you to get out there, lock arms and protest with the team, because now we're under duress. Everybody's mad. And he was going to do it big. He was like, look, brothers and sisters, not only 1 knee, but 2 knees. And so now he's saying he was praying. But anyway, hey, Al, what's happening? He said he just got from the game. What game? No, just playing. So anyway, back to Sean King. All right, so I went and saw Sean King on Wednesday, and he was highlighting racism. What's, the state of racism, I guess, in America now. So anyway, he had this chart that kind of went like that. And he said that chart kind of came from the guy who founded history. He was the founder, of the study of history. And so, and Donovan is making sure that I'm still on. Okay, so the chart was illustrating that humanity, as time goes on, is getting better and better and better. But Sean King said, well, that can't be true, because we now know in 2017, racism is probably, I don't know if it's worse than ever, but it's getting worse like it used to be. And so he says, now, if that chart was illustrating, let's say, technology or the way we communicate, then yeah, it's getting better and better. Because back in the day when we communicated, we used 2 strings and a pigeon, or whatever the case was. 2 strings and a can, or a pigeon to send a message. But now we got smartphones and all kind of stuff. And I'm going to get to your guys' comments in a minute. So basically he was racism and humanity is not getting better. Basically humanity sucks and racism probably now is at an all-time high, with the president that we have. Just the things that he said to just kind of spark racism and making the closeted racists come out of the closet now and say, hey, I'm openly a racist, and so what? All right, so the one, and I thought all that was great until the end. So he took questions from the audience, and so the one question that he picked, somebody asked him, if you had the ear to the White House, what would you say? And what would you advise the House to do? And so he says, okay, well, two things. I would tell them to pass the DREAM Act and pass the DREAM Act. Oh, and then to get rid of the ban on Muslims from coming in and out of the country. And so I leaned over to my nephew and I said, so no reparations? Can black people get something? I mean, and my nephew was like, well, maybe he's got to kind of pander to the audience a little bit because, admittedly, it's about 15% black people, if that, and the rest were predominantly white and then the others here and there. And so, kind of talking about issues that were affecting them. But I was just kind of like, really? We can't get reparations? A bucket of chicken? Something you wouldn't go tell the White House, do something for my peoples? So I don't know, maybe he was just kind of, just coming off the top of his head with a couple of things, but that kind of shocked me. And I kind of just, the way I think he's an awesome dude, don't get me wrong, but it just kind of struck me as odd. It just was odd. So anyway, that was my take. And I'll go ahead and to you guys' comments before we go on to what's wrong with us and have we officially lost our minds. And so Al says, hey, Don, I will call you once me and Dee talk. So he's going to call you. Sydney says, now there is a petition to take Ray's statue down in front of the Raven Stadium. Yes, which is why he was now praying. He wasn't protesting. Listen, don't get it twisted. Don't believe your lying eyes. I was not protesting with those Negroes, okay? I was praying to Jesus. Like, you needed to do that on national TV, but all right. And then Donovan says, Tommy Sotomayor has the answers. Sydney says, cooning goes wrong. Yes, I think you said cooking, but I know you meant cooning. And Sydney says, past 50,000 who signed that petition. Yes, and speaking of the petition, and Tony says, hey, Professor, what's happening? Speaking of petition, have you guys seen the plethora of white people who are upset? They are upset that black people, or not even just black people, but the owners and the players and everybody else have decided to protest. They took a knee. And so now they're burning their tickets and their jerseys and their beloved A, B, C, and D. And the white people are upset. Like, they're mad. And I'm like, really? Are you mad or nah? I mean, but when we get mad, it's like, oh, you guys need to get over it. Slavery was, you weren't born in slavery. Well, how about you just get over it? I mean, we don't like the national anthem. Get over it. And then Sydney says, we can't get reparations though. Yeah, I was like, come on, Shawnee. Out of all the stuff you could have said, they're like reparation. I mean, we'll probably never get it, but it's wishful thinking. But damn, you want to pass the DACA, and I get it. The DREAM Act, yes, whatever, great, fine, and dandy. You want the ban on Muslims to stop. Okay, that's great too. But, as Dr. Claude Anderson always talks about, we always want to, for instance, he talks about civil rights and how civil rights at first was about black people getting the rights to vote and, sharing the same water fountain and getting to live in the same neighborhoods and to vote and all that kind of stuff. It was about black people. But then civil rights got mixed in with gay and lesbians, women, you name it. Everything has become a right, and so black people have gotten moved to the back of the line. And so yes, now he's advocating, he being Sean is advocating for the DACA or the DREAM Act and the ban on Muslims to stop. And but again, I'm not trying to take any away from Sean, because he does do a great job at fighting for justice for black people. So I'm not trying to disrespect him. I just thought that was weird. And then let's see. Al says, I always thought reparations was going to be the title of the next Bond film. I don't know. But reparations for who? And then Sydney says, Donovan, no Tommy soda moist. Just so. That is Donovan's boy. Like, he is a Tommy fanatic. I think Donovan was like the original fan of Tommy. When Tommy first started out, Donovan was there, you know.
I understand where he's coming from.
He said he understands where he's coming from.
Because I'm experiencing it now myself.
He said he's looking for a Becky. But we don't have to talk him out of that. Hey, Ed. And Ed said, what's up? What up, Al? Jonathan, what's going on? He said, a glimpse of unity is their fear always. Yes. I was talking to my nephew about this the other day. It was the, what was it? J. Edgar Hoover. It was his thing and his administration, the FBI's thing, to stop the rise of a black messiah, because we know we're the leader, such as the ones that were murdered in the past, Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, Martin Luther King. Not that Marcus Garvey was murdered, but his organization was dismantled because they were viewed as messiahs. Messiahs were going to lead black people to the promised land, to unity and doing for self. And so you're absolutely right, Jonathan. Hey, Tracy, what's happening? He says, Al, you in a good mood today? Laugh out loud. Yeah, he's in a good mood. His team must have won. I don't know.
They did.
Hey, Terry, they did. Says pure truth. And Al says, D is always looking good. I ate. The Texans won. So far, so good. There you have it. Not that we even like trying to promote the NFL, right? And then so Sydney says, just YouTube OJ. Oh, that's right.
Yep.
OJ
just
got out.
today,
OJ,
last night, yesterday.
OJ's on the loose.
Lady, he's single.
Listen, we ain't got I ain't got nothing to worry about. I got a man. But the black women, I mean, he ain't checking for us.
Yeah, exactly. He's single though.
Guarantee you he out there looking for a Becky.
Yeah, you damn right. And I guarantee you a Becky will be available.
Oh yeah, white women like, here I is.
Mm-hmm.
Terry says, quit playing, Donovan. Yeah, you talking about going to get a Becky and Tommy, and
I talk, but I don't do.
Donovan is not having a good time with the ladies. He's trying very hard to get him a sister, but he said it's hard. He said he don't want to do it, but he's gonna have to go looking for Becky. I'll stab him first. I will. Hey, and so Tracy says, just was able to get to the live to start. Reiterate, please. So basically, I'm just talking about Sean King, what I took away from his lecture, and then I'm going to get to the second topic in just a second. What's up, Billy? So what's the topic? Oh, so I'm sure you just heard that I'm talking about my takeaway from Sean King. And all right, so let's move on, because Sean King is Sean King, and he's awesome and all that. I just thought, get reparations.
Not even on the list. Not even on the list.
Something.
Not even on the list.
Can I get some hair grease?
We're the last. No matter who's there, black president, we're the last.
It's always that way, though.
We're the last.
So I just thought that was very telling. Like, golly, weird. And so, Teresa says, okay. And then Mateo, I'm going to call you Mateo. Hey, beautiful. Well, thank you. How are you? Al says, Sadie, tell the people about the positive picture I sent you today from the game and what you said. Oh, so Al was at the game. Season ticket holder, had his tickets before.
Yeah, who was that floozy he was sitting next to?
This is floozy. He went to the game and he saw a brother sitting in front of him with a Kaepernick jersey, which is very brave in Texas. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he got out of there alive. But yeah, that was very brave. So I guess if you're going to go do it, I don't know.
Should have had a cowboy jersey.
And then, so let's see. And then Teresa says, oops, not KKK. I know what you meant. And Sydney says, I need to watch the Sean King thing, though. Yeah, it was in Redlands, so maybe somebody did it live. I think Redlands University, they did a live piece, so it might still be on there. It was an interesting lecture. I just thought, wow, come on, Sean. And so Billy says, the last will be first someday. Yes. And that is why the rest of society, let's call a spade, predominantly white people, are like, listen, we like y'all Negroes docile. We like it when you guys kind of just march a little bit, you get mad, and then you go home, and you ain't gonna bust a grape, right? And then it's business as usual. You'll give us your money. And listen, I ain't never been in no strip club. That's just what I know is a universal sign for giving away money.
Yes. Old school, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We'll continue to give you our money, and you guys aren't going to do nothing. So just keep doing that. But yeah, one day they fear that black people are going to wake up, and I honestly think Trump is the man to make it happen for black people to finally galvanize us. Nope. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. Donovan says no. All right. And let's see, did I miss some comments? And Joe, what's happening? He says, Hotep Queen, Hotep onto you as well. And Sydney says, they made it, though, that way. Yes, they did. And Terry says, a black football player here in Nebraska took a knee, and some of the fans were sending death threats about hanging the young brother. See? I mean, come on. It's like we're protesting a very racist song that was written in a racist pen and paper, because the man was losing his slaves, and he was like, I'd rather see you niggers die. That's pretty much was the premise of the third. The
protest doesn't have nothing to do with that. Protest has to do with killing of black men in the street. So they can't lose focus of that. Right,
but see, and you're right. People have hijacked the narrative in that black people are just disrespecting the national anthem and the flag, but it's like, no, it's more to it than that. Not even that it's being disrespected, as we were just asking that there's some justice done to black people and police stop murdering black people wholesale. But white people, for whatever reason, can't get past that at all. You're disrespecting our flag. But what they need to understand is the flag has more black blood on it than any blood. This country was built off of the backs of black people, and we are not going to be that sleeping giant anymore. We are not going to appease white people anymore.
Yes, we will. But go ahead.
Well, you will, because you're looking for Becky.
No, yes, we will. Because like I said, with all these things that have happened, we have yet to do anything.
We will, though. Okay. I honestly believe that black people are waking up. Do you guys believe black people are starting to wake up? Well, wait till I get to the next topic, though. Al says, you never said what you told me once I sent you the picture. Oh, what I said was, and when Al sent me the picture of the brother with the Kaepernick jersey, I said he was looking like I wish a nigga would. You know, I wish somebody would try to say something to me or test me. So, yeah, you know, like I said, big ups to him. Teresa said, get this story right, DT. I'm trying. And then Billy says, white people will be down in 30 years anyway. Yeah, well, it's starting to transition that way. And I make it no secret. I'm not ashamed. I love all my nieces and nephews. Out of all of my nieces and nephews, all of them are mixed with something. I have 3 nieces and nephews who are mixed with white. I have 3 nieces and nephews who are mixed with Puerto Rican, which is black. And I have 3 nieces and nephews that are mixed with Panamanian. So, I mean, I just kind of see that in my own family. My daughter's, 100%. And Sydney says, they made it that way, though. We expecting reparations, knowing they made it impossible for us to get it. Yes, at some point in time, back in the day when we first got free, I can't remember which president it was. I think it was Adams, or some senator was actually trying. He was like, hey, give black people some land and some money so they can go do their thing. And it was actually a real thing about to take place. But then some haters came and said, no, we ain't giving them nothing. Because ultimately, Madison, ultimately, they wanted us to go back to the plantation, which a lot of us did, because it was like, yeah, we're free, but we don't have any land. In the book that I just finished reading called To Be a Slave, they talked about that. They said, yeah, we were free, but we don't have any land. We don't have any money. So it's like, that's cool to set somebody free, but set them free with just the clothes on their back. But to, God Almighty, they made it. They, being the slaves, ex-slaves, they made something out of nothing. But we know what happened with that. And then Floyd was happy. They want us to be docile and obedient. Absolutely. Like we've always been. We've always been that way, even from slavery, because we didn't have any choice. After slavery, we're like, okay, we still gonna be that because y'all still around here lynching people. But how about we just go over here, build our own little town and all of that, and we mind our business. But of course, we know they wouldn't let us do that. And so throughout the years, we become docile again. Yeah, you had the civil rights thing, Rosa Parks and all of them. But then, it kind of like died down again, and we just started taking it again. And then Terry said, same thing me and Cece said today. Y'all continue to run, jump, hop, and entertain, and keep your mouth shut. Yes, that's what they want athletes to do, is listen. We don't need you to have a voice. We don't even want you to have opinion. To us, you're no more than a donkey. Get out there and do what donkeys do. Athletes, run the ball, take these hit, and then shut up. We don't care. We don't value your opinion as a black man. Yeah, predominantly you guys fill the prisons and you guys are getting murdered wholesale, but what that got to do with us? We pay you guys a lot of money, so be quiet. And Cindy says, we need to follow Dr. Anderson. Yes, that's another one of my small pet peeves. I see a lot of Negroes, I call them Negro-peans, on Facebook a lot talking about Dave Ramsey and Susie Orman and all these other people's like, okay, that's fine. I'm not saying they're not giving good advice, but we got a brother by the name of Dr. Claude Anderson that's been giving us the blueprint. Powernomics is what he calls it, to sustaining wealth or building wealth and sustaining it, especially in our community. But we would rather uplift everybody else. I mean, this man is the truth. He keeps it real, but yeah, we want to talk about everybody else. That blows me away. I guess the white man's ice is colder than ours. And then Floyd says they want us to be thankful for our oppression. Yeah, you know, why? I don't know. You know, it's almost like, well, be glad we freed you. You know, be glad that we're not kicking your asses and raping you and doing all this stuff. Just be glad you're free. But free how? Free, is that what you call freedom? And Cindy says, call a spade. Trump hijacked it. Yes, he tried to hijack, you know, the whole narrative about the national anthem and make it about himself. And he's continued to try to do that. But, you know, Trump is an ass, but he's also smart. He knows that with just the power of a few words, I mean, look what he did. Before the owners was like, yeah, F Kaepernick, you know, we don't like him, we'll never hire him because, you know, blah, blah, blah. Damn near all of them dudes taking a knee and locking arms, and you know it killed him. It was like, so, and Trump is supposed to be your boy, but he forced you guys his hand into doing something you didn't want to do. And now white people are mad at you. Oh my God. And Terry says, sorry, I meant hot. Oh, I know what you meant. And yes, we are starting to wake up. Our young folks are taking up the struggle. Well, we're going to talk about that in just a second. And so Donovan said Madison. Oh, I'm behind in the comments. And then Billy says, if the PR don't know they black Puerto Ricans, Trump reminded them, you ain't never lied. You know, it's like, a lot of people forget that Puerto Rico is actually a part of the United States. On top of, I'm sure quite a few Puerto Ricans, why, I don't know, voted for Trump. And so, like you said, nothing reminds you that you're a Negroid. The more than
a person of color,
or a person of color, than the president saying, you just want to sit around and have everybody do everything for you. Like, really? Okay. And Teresa says 40 acres in a mule. Yeah, that's what I always say. 40 acres in a Tesla. Can't do nothing with no mule. Donovan says Dallas Cowboys were robbed again. Rams gave a good game. Our new quarterback for Houston was on it today. We ain't talking about the NFL up in here. Donovan says the D challenge and the dumbing down of black people. We get into it. And Jody says my family is a mixed pot, but I'm black first. My sympathies is black. My objective is black. I don't hate white people. I just love people the most. Yes, and you know what? I don't want to say I have a lot of problems with that, because me and Donovan do another show, and we have a lot of white listeners who want to know why I'm so hateful. Why am I so mean? And I'm like, why? I mean, not that I care, because honestly I don't. But it's like, I'm mean because I'm talking about the betterment of black people, and I just so happen to throw in some things that white people did to us. So I'm mean. Am I being mean, or am I telling the truth? But yeah, I agree. You know, I'm always going to rally on the side of blackness, and I'm not going to apologize for that. Al says 40 acres and a mule. I'd rather have a 3-bedroom house and a new car. Yeah, you know, but I'll take 40 acres. That's quite a bit. We can do a lot of things. If you get 40 acres, I get 40 acres. We got 80 acres. No. Hey, Jesse says, we're not free as long as their faces are on the money. Right. You know, but I still spend it, though. Until we get some our faces, I'll still spend it. Terry says, there's nothing more valuable than land. Land never depreciates, and they know it. If you own land, you will power due to demand. I own 5 acres, and many around me own 100 to 1,500 acres. Damn. What they doing all that land? That's like a state. But you're right. Land never loses its value. We need land. Black people need to start buying land and start cultivating the land, start building on the land, start building businesses. You know, the whole Dr. Claude Anderson concept. We need to start doing those things. And Teresa says, right, Al. And Donovan says, Trump is getting ready to go to jail and putting up distractions to continue the divide, through American people. You think he's going to jail?
Yes, obstruction of justice.
Okay, we'll see. I mean, Trump goes to jail, then...
Well, he won't complete his term. He might not go to jail, but he won't complete his term.
But okay, we're going to see. We're going to see if Trump is going to jail. Trump don't look like he's even worried about going to jail.
Yeah,
he's
he is.
like,
Yeah,
screw
he
you
is.
Puerto Ricos, screw you Americans.
That's why he has that attitude.
Who going to check me? That's his attitude. And Eddie, what's happening? Say, check you out. Hashtag God. Yes. And for you guys, you see the green screen. This is eventually going to be produced into a show by the most talented Donovan Sadiq. So if you guys have a show or something you want to produce, check him out. He's got some very affordable prices, and he's awesome at what he does. All right, that was the commercial.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and so Al says, good news. Odell Beckham was fined $12,000 for his dog piss touchdown. I just, I saw the pictures of Odell and he did that. I'm like, I don't even know if there's a strong enough word. Because Conan, it's like, why? Why are you doing that? These dudes are protesting on the knee and you getting on the knee and lifting your other knee up to piss like a dog. It's like, okay. Donovan says, Demetri is known as a racist here in the Inland Empire. If they need to educate themselves because I can't be a racist. Ha! And not yet anyway. Just wait till we get some power. And you also say 40 acres will never happen for black folks. Negro will lose the land by not paying the taxes on it. It's happening a lot in the South. Well, I think it was Benny last week. I don't see him on here now, but he was talking about that. We do need to change our mindset because we will get the money, and more than likely we won't do anything. Not all of us, but overall, do anything productive with the money. We'll go and I don't know if you guys ever saw the skit with Dave Chappelle on a Dave Chappelle show where he did where black people got reparations, and then a guy drives by in a truck, Newport truck. He's like, oh, you see, he got a job driving with Newport. He's like, nah, I bought this truck with my reparations. Funny. I mean, it was like over the top, but it's like, I get it, Dave. Because you're real. I've known you since elementary. You have always kept it real, never been mean. That was me. You weren't mean, Tracy. But thank you so much. And Cindy says, knowing they will take our land if they gave it to us. But see, that's the thing. We have to stop thinking like that. Oh my gosh, if we get ahead, because I always ask the question, if we got land and, we did do what Marcus Garvey was trying to do, move everybody to one land, black people, let's go. Would you go? And a lot of people are like, no, I won't go because, then they might bomb us because we're all in the same place. And, at some point in time, we got to stop living in fear because then we might as well just see ourselves back to the plantation and say, well, I'm back. Because that was the mentality and how we thought when we were in slavery. We were scared. Another one of mine, and I don't like to keep using movie quotes. That's Donovan and Al saying they teach from movie quotes, but I'll do it today. Django. When Big Daddy, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, was talking to Jamie Foxx and Samuel Jackson's character, Steven, he was like, my daddy had this plantation and, his Samuel Jackson was the hymns guy. He used to shave my daddy all the time on the porch. And I used to wonder, y'all outnumber us, by a large number, and never once do y'all ever think to slit our throats? Y'all can overtake us, but you guys won't do it. We got to get out of thinking that way. We can't be afraid. We're just gonna have to do it. And he said, we have always been divided, Sydney says. And Joe says, American don't mind bringing up our past, but when you bring up what they've done to us, they get mad. Oh no, absolutely. It's like, because think about it. You just think about it from their standpoint. We, as white people, they've always been in control. They've always been able to do whatever they want, not to just black people, but everybody. And you think of some of the heinous things that were done just to black people alone. And they're able to sleep at night. I was showing my nephew because, right now it's just me and my younger nephew in the house. And so me and him spend a lot of time together talking and, just chopping it up about black things. And so I showed him a bunch of pictures because he says, a lot of times people will say, oh, if you just dress this way and if people won't do this and that to you. So I showed him a couple pictures and said, well, look at this man. He was dressed nice. He had on a suit. And yet there's a picture of a white mom making him bend down to kiss his feet. And so he was like, oh my God, so I guess, No worries. But it's like they can do that kind of stuff to us and not bat an eye, like not even lose any sleep. So yeah, they can get mad, but we can't get mad. And Teresa says Trump ain't inboxing. He basically say he ain't going to jail. I don't think he's going to jail either. He also say, do your hair on fleek. You know, I'm trying to do something different to it. I'm just tired of combing it. I almost want to cut it off, but I'm not going to. And Al says Force is a lot, and Green Acres was a terrible show. I never watched it. And you also say, Tracy, why we don't have our own land? We don't have our own land. Well, we don't collectively have our own land. Let's just take like a city like Los Angeles or any major metropolitan area. Most of those towns have a Chinatown. You have a part where Indians live. You know, just different parts of the town. So they have their own land where they set up and they can go do their own thing. We don't necessarily, I mean, we have black neighborhoods, but we don't have black neighborhoods that we predominantly own. And so that's what we mean, that we need to get our own land and start cultivating and doing our own thing. You also say more so our own homeland. Yes, which I should have read your comment. Cindy says, D, we are seeing what they are doing to the Native American. Yes, we are, but you know what? And no shade to the Native Americans at all. Most of us probably got some Indian in us. You know how we say, I got part Indian in me. But I mean, Indians also had their role in slavery, in that they had slaves and they did some heinous things to black people too. So I say that to say, yeah, Indians are going through it, but so are black people, and we need to start thinking about our own situation first, and then when we get our stuff together, we can start helping everybody else, I guess, or helping them like they help us, right? And then so Tracy, you say, what about the black girl who won 400 something in the lottery and bought a plantation? Literally, it's dirty with motorcycles in the pool. I hate her. Laugh out loud. Really? So she had all the money and just kind of tricked it off, is what you're saying? And so Joey says, post the truth, whether they love you or hate you. I'm not a teacher or a preacher. I'm a truth teller. Amen. That's what I do. Like I said, I'm not going to apologize. I don't try to come across as a jerk or being mean, but I'm not going to coddle white people because they don't want to hear the truth. I mean, why would I do that? That to coddle them would be, hindering myself and my truth. And Terry says, agriculture, 1 acre goes for $20,000 and one plot of land for a house goes for $50,000. So 100 acres equals around $2 million. Many of us had land after slavery. They lost it due to paying taxes, not having a will, and we just would leave the land or the big city and lose it due to taxes. Our family still owns the land we brought after slavery. That is awesome. But you're absolutely right. And then another thing that I know you know, but you didn't say, is that we had land, and a lot of us were forced or coerced or lied to in order for white people to steal our land. The KKK came to prominence right after slavery. KKK wasn't around during slavery. They came after slavery because they wanted to kill and intimidate black people. Really, I think they formed to scare us back into slavery. So yeah, a lot of times our land was taken from us, and wasn't just like the neighbors like, hey, I'm going to go take Jim Bob's land. The banks were involved, the city, they were all involved in taking black people's stuff, sort of like they do now, And Al says, didn't Fergie have a song lyric about black people? Landy, Landy, my bad. It was Londi, Londi. I have no idea who that is. You talking about Fergie, Black Eyed Peas? Maybe.
Kids Incorporated.
Oh, Kids Incorporated?
She was in Kids Incorporated.
Hell, y'all watch too much TV. Turn the damn TV off sometimes.
Yeah, she was a Kids Incorporated. She sure was.
Oh. And so Terry says, yep, she was on Ayanla. The girl who lost so wait. $400 million, bought some land, a plantation, and did she lose it? Golly. And Teresa said yes and bailed her. Oh, okay, I know who you talking about. I remember that. You said yes, and she bailed her man out of jail for $21 million. Didn't do nothing for her people. Not hand out something. Yeah, because she bailed him out a couple times, right? She bailed him out, and then he kept going back. Okay, I remember that. See, the wrong people be winning the lotto. Give me the lotto. I'm going to trick off some of it. I'm not going to lie. But I'm going to do the right thing with the most of it, And Cindy says exactly, they are still doing that now. Yeah, they're still taking stuff from black people. I mean, think about the housing crisis. Who were mostly affected by the housing crisis? It was us.
Black and brown.
We were affected by it. We had the higher interest rates. They gave us the stated loans. We said we worked at Taco Bell, and then they gave us a $40 million house. Just all kind of stuff. It just bogus, just the worst. And we lost our houses.
But it was a good deal at the time.
It was a good deal at the time. But, we need to educate ourselves as well. And so, Cindy says, read a book. All right, so I don't see any more comments. So I'm going to transition to it. Terry said, yes, we had 100 acres peach farm in Arkansas. A white man insulted my relative's wife, and he killed him. So they made him sign his land over and leave town. See, that kind of stuff. That white man was probably pissed off because he saw your peoples with the peach farm. It's like, look at them. He probably had a peanut farm or something minute, and just could not stand the fact that your people have something and it was lucrative. Went over there and started some mess, and the rest is history. Is like it makes me mad. And then they have the audacity. I'm burning my season tickets because you guys want justice.
Right, pull up yourself by the bootstraps.
Yeah,
like we did.
Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Right. Well, get your ass off my bootstraps then. And then Teresa says, like in LA, they got rid of Columbus Day because of the atrocities that he did and made it somebody else's day. I think Native American Day. Yes.
Yeah. Indigenous people.
Indigenous People Day is what it is. LA did that. So now they need everybody else to do it. Yeah. But that's just the lie they still tell. Christopher Columbus, he's this great dude that found America. No, you ain't found nothing, brother. You came over and stole it. You did what your people always do. They come to find stuff, and then they put their stake on it like it's mine now. They did a Debo on the land. It's mine. And Joey says, yes, I don't watch TV. I read a lot of ancient Africa books. I'm trying to get in there. I tried to read the books on like ancient African stuff. I need to find one maybe like on a 3rd grade level. Because I do read a lot, but some subjects it's just like I have to find it to where I can say, okay, it flows when I read, and I have to go keep repeating what I'm reading. But absolutely, turn the TV off. I cannot stress that enough. Turn the television off. And stop scrolling on social media so much. I was listening to something the other day, and it says, you guys probably know this, but social media is designed like by psychologists to get you hooked into social media so you spend hours and hours and hours scrolling. And now if you guys notice, I don't know if I should tell you if you haven't noticed, but you can now watch TV on Facebook. Do you guys see that new little icon at the top of the Facebook thing? That's videos that some are produced by Facebook in just different places. So now, not only are you going to be able to see what your friends do, not only are you not going to be able to see what your friends do, but Facebook is now producing content to hook you in, so you're less productive. Al says, hey, Donovan, how about this? Replace the national anthem with the old school Lee Greenwood military song, God Bless the USA.
Sure, why not?
No. And then Teresa says, when do we get payback? You know what? When we get payback, when we stop giving 97% of our $1.3 trillion away, I think it's fair to say that we'll never, ever get reparations. They're not interested in giving it to us. They'll give everybody else, even the Armenians, people who weren't even over here, Japanese to Pearl Harbor, even though they bombed us first. We're going to give everybody else money, but black people, get out of here. Better be happy if we give you a job. But that's when we're going to get payback, is when we stop giving away our wealth to them. And then so Joy says, everybody to watch Colors 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes, I've seen them all. Very interesting. Very interesting. And you also say, and watch 7 a.m. Is that a documentary? I've never heard of it, but I love documentaries, so I will watch it. And Teresa says, I need mine. You, again, I need mine. Y'all need yours. James Brown, payback. Yes, let's pay ourselves back, though. Let's stop living on less than 3% of our wealth. And Terry says, no, I got to watch Westerns. You know what? I love me some Westerns. I really do. I got that from my dad. My dad watched Westerns. He'll come over. I don't have TV, but he'll say, can you turn on the machine? And he'll call, that's the computer, the machine. I want to watch a Western. Then I'll spend 30 minutes trying to find a dude Western.
Yeah, the Lone Ranger. Westerns always had a message in it back in those days. That's why they're so popular.
He loves Westerns. My dad doesn't watch very much TV at all. He books. And then Teresa says, "You're smart, D." Oh, I try. And Joe says yes. And Terry says, "Our show enough ain't lying. We better keep our own money and pay ourselves back." Yes. We can't. We're gonna wait in vain. The reparations will never happen. Joey says, "Go on YouTube and type 7 a.m. I'm gonna do that when I get home. I'm gonna do that because I love documentaries, like I said." And Al says, "Which Western? Lone Ranger, Rifleman, Bonanza, Cisco Kid, Gunsmoke? Shall I continue?" Yes. Al is a TV aficionado too. Cindy says, "Did you see the news regarding black activists?" I did not. What happened with that? And while you're answering that, I don't see any more questions. I'm going to go to the second part, which says, what's wrong with us? Have we officially lost our minds? And so a lot of you guys probably saw that I put the D challenge or the P challenge. I'm trying to be clean. Donovan says, how do we get reparations and ratchetness in is now the majority? We're going to get to that. Okay. We're going to get to that. Teresa says, I'm sick of Al Davis. Laugh out loud. I know who you meant. Okay, so anyway, what's wrong with us and have we officially lost our minds? Okay, so as most of you guys have probably saw trending on the social media, there's this thing now called the D Challenge. Okay, and we're going to take a podcast break in just a couple of seconds for you, those of you who are listening, and we'll be right back. So anyway, the D challenge and the P challenge for most of you guys who live under a rock is, I guess, Plies is one of his songs, what he will do for the P. And he says the word, the P being the P, the OPP.
Would you like me to say it?
No, don't say it. And so this challenge has turned into people, you name it, are doing the P challenge. What I would do for the P or what I would do for the D. You've seen people like Erykah Badu, Sanaa Lathan,
Gabrielle Union,
Cardi B. Well, we expect that from Cardi B. Mm-hmm. And some other. I haven't seen too many men do it though. I mean, I'm not saying I've seen it like everyday guys, but not a lot of. I'm not saying that they didn't do it. And so you see a lot of people saying, "Oh, well, they're just having fun." And when I say a lot of people, I predominantly mean us. We are justifying that behavior. And the reason why I say have we lost our minds is because, if you speak up about it or you say something contrary to, you're a hater.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, or you're being judgmental. Oh, just lighten up. We always got something to, complain about. And I'm like, shouldn't we be able to ask a question like, why is that acceptable? Why are we, as Donovan likes to send me a lot of videos of the God. So I finally watched one, and this guy made a good point in that he asked, why are black people so overly sexualized? And so I don't know if that's true or not true, but
Very
it's like,
true.
Donovan saying it's true, we hop on to like the strangest things. And I could just imagine both of my grandmothers who are no longer here, but I could imagine them rolling over in their graves saying, say, what? What you gonna do for the D? Is that the type of stuff that ladies and even gentlemen talk about?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Did anybody see the video where there is a cheerleading team down in Miami,
saying what they'll do for the D?
No, they were dressed like strippers.
So he's saying a cheerleader team, were they black?
Yes, all of them.
A black cheerleader team was dressed like strippers at a high school?
At a high school.
And
the routine they did was stripularized. I mean, it was a total sexualization.
So to your point, I don't know if you guys heard him, he was saying that there was a cheerleading team, a high school cheerleading team that was stripping and all that other stuff, and they were stripping during a routine. And so...
And the way they were dressed, everything. They didn't even have a regular cheerleading outfit on. They had basically stripper clothes. And I think I sent you the video to take a look at that.
I didn't watch it.
But this is one of the things we're talking about where we're over-sexualized. And the principal said that all the parents, which were all black, which was mostly mothers, said it was perfectly okay.
It's perfectly okay?
Perfectly okay.
Okay, so that also goes to my other point. Like, why is that okay? Do you guys remember when black men and